Holiday news, our pop-up vaccine team is coming to Nathan Phillip Square for 12-year-olds and up this Sunday. Social medicine kicker, free ice cream with the vaccine. CIBC is joining in with the City of Toronto to bring ice cream trucks to this vaccine clinic. Meanwhile, we have a group of concerned parents who are pointing out that these 12-year-olds don't have to have parental consent to go up here and get their vaccine in exchange for an ice cream cone, and the police are blocking them from entering. We'll take a look at that, guys, today. Also, would you be willing to get a COVID-19 vaccine in exchange for a $1,500 stimulus check? Well, here's one bold proposal that could show you how that could work. Here we have Bill de Blasio, the New York mayor, chowing down on some burgers and fries. As we see here, inoculation incentives offers beer, burgers, and money in exchange for getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Meanwhile, in Colorado, they've announced a $1 million vaccine lottery. Everyone vaccinated is already eligible, guys, and get this, you get not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 chances to win the lottery if you get the shot. Meanwhile, we see here hospital staff have been offering their employees for quite some time now, actually, money in exchange for getting the COVID-19 vaccine, and there's a lot to be said about that. And right here at home, guys, the BC government has announced their new restart plan, and they're taking things a little bit differently. Instead of offering people burgers and french fries and money and ice cream, they've went a different route. They're going to slowly offer our freedoms back. Isn't that great? This 4-step plan will only proceed if case counts, hospitalizations decline, and vaccinations increase. Guys, there's a major push towards having the entire population inoculated. They are practically begging us to do it at this point. We're going to cover all of that and much more in this video, so stay tuned. But before we do, guys, I'd ask that you check us out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information. Here you can contribute with PayPal, you can do Bitcoin, you can become a patron, you can sign up for a monthly alternative, Patreon alternative monthly amount. You can send an e-transfer here. You can also send anything you'd like to my P.O. box. Links are all located in the description below, guys. Please check it out if you want to support my efforts to bring you this information. All right, so let's just jump right into this. This is an invitation, essentially, to the St. Jamestown Community Center for receiving the vaccine shot in exchange for free ice cream. As we see here, the top point, it says the drop-in clinic, no appointment is required. They are encouraging workers, essential workers and children aged 12 and up to come out to receive the vaccine. And as you see here, free ice cream is in order for anybody who does attend. Team CIBC is now proud to team up with the City of Toronto in support of today's COVID-19 84 vaccine clinic at Nathan Phillip Square. Well, a lot of parents weren't too happy about this, and rightly so. I mean, you got 12-year-olds walking up to get their free ice cream in exchange for a shot without the consent of their parents necessary. That's just outrageous. Let's listen in here to what a few of these concerned parents had to say.
I'm inviting you now to join us, to stop this happening. Right now.
What's the oath that you took? To serve and protect. And now you're letting children line up for a free ice cream.
Hey, Rise Up.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen this full clip, guys, I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check the whole thing out. But these parents are rightly so, saying you're offering these kids free ice cream, you're not letting us in. This is dangerous. What's going on here? And they should be respecting parental rights in this country, especially when it comes to this extremely experimental jab. In the U.S., they're going as far as to just flat out trying to pay you to do it. Here we see the idea of getting $1,500 in exchange for getting the vaccine. Millions of Americans are still hoping for a second round of stimulus checks to help them cope with the financial fallout of COVID-19 84 pandemic. Meanwhile, the U.S. government is preparing to distribute vaccinations to the American public in order to put an end to the public health crisis. Now, one proposal aims to help both efforts by giving people $1,500 stimulus checks in exchange for getting immunized. The idea comes from entrepreneur John Delaney, a former Democratic congressman from Maryland who ran for president in 2020. The faster we get 75% of this country vaccinated, the faster we end COVID-19 84, and the sooner everything returns to normal. And I found it interesting, guys. They seem to be honing in on this 75% number, roughly. And yeah, we'll get back to why that is and what we're seeing now in Canada as well. But look at this in Colorado. This is wild. Flat out, you can win the lottery. Here's $1 million. Just go get vaccinated if you want to have a chance for this. This is crazy. Vaccines, it can save lives. It can end a pandemic. And now it could make you $1 million richer. Government Jared Polis announced Tuesday that every Coloradian who gets a vaccine by the end of the month will be entered to win a special vaccinated-only lottery. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 drawings, a visibly excited Government Jared Polis exclaimed during a news conference Tuesday to announce the initiative, officially known as the Colorado Comeback Cash Program. The lottery is intended to help increase the excitement around getting vaccinated. If you are already vaccinated, you're already entered. If you still haven't gotten your shot, you have until June 1st to do so in order to be eligible. The only criteria to win, look at this, number 1 criteria, be alive, be a resident of Colorado, have at least 1 vaccine shot, and be 18 years or older. So, isn't that interesting? Number 1 criteria, you can't have died from this thing. We need you to be alive, and then you are eligible. For those younger than 18, Polis said the state will announce details in the coming days on a scholarship program in place of the lottery. Of course, kids aren't allowed to play the lottery, but they want the kids to get vaccines as well. So they're just going to, instead of giving them $1 million, put it into some sort of scholarship program. Rather than gambling on getting COVID, let's take a risk on winning $1 million. What an insanely ridiculous statement. Rather than gambling on COVID-19, let's take a risk at winning $1 million. Does this guy actually understands the inherent risks that are associated with these vaccines? I mean, we're talking potential blood clotting, we're talking potential Bell's palsy, we're talking severe allergic reactions to the point of even death. This is just insane. So far, 2.5 million you know the word I'm trying to say, Coloradians have been vaccinated, making your odds 1 in 500,000. Those are good odds. That's better than the Powerball. This is insane. The drawings will be held June 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th, and July 7th. Each vaccinated Coloradan was assigned a random number, and one of those numbers will be drawn each week. If your number comes up, you'll be notified. The money to fund the lottery is coming from the CARES Act. Everybody who's been vaccinated is in the lottery. You'd be foolish not to get vaccinated, he said. May the odds be forever in your favor. Wow, let's talk about the odds a little bit, shall we? I mean, here we have the CDC admitting that 10,000 of more than 101 million vaccinated people in the U.S. have been infected with the breakthrough COVID-19 strain. You may be saying, Dan, 10,000 out of 100 million is like 1%, right? Nothing to worry about. Well, what happens when it's, 1% gets this breakthrough COVID-19 variant, 1% suffers from blood clotting, 1% suffers from Bell's palsy, 1% dies from this thing. Pretty soon, guys, we've got a bit of a problem here. This is becoming far more risky than getting the virus itself, which has a 99.97% recovery rate. Why on earth would anyone take the risk of this vaccine over the virus? Well, I know why. It's because of all these incentives and the propaganda coming from the mainstream where they're practically begging you to get this shot. More than 10,000 people in the United States have been infected with COVID-19 84 after being vaccinated against the virus, according to data released Tuesday by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. They are among the roughly 101 million people nationally who received both doses of the Pfizer shot and the Moderna vaccine or the single shot vaccine from Johnson & Johnson as of April 30th. Of the more than 10,000 people diagnosed with so-called breakthrough infections or infections that occur, full vaccinations, 27% experienced no symptoms of the virus, data showed. However, 10% of these patients were hospitalized following infections and 2% ultimately died. Again, they're not bringing up these numbers when they when they tell you these fantastic odds of winning $1 million. Well, you got to question why hospital staff are not getting the vaccine and why the actual hospitals have to bribe them with money. One of Houston's largest hospitals is offering a $500 bonus to employees who receive the vaccine for COVID-19 84. The reporting of the bonuses came as health systems around the country have reported difficulties in convincing healthcare workers to get vaccinated before their patients. Guys, this is a really important thing to understand, that the healthcare workers are not doing this. There's a lot of people within the field here who see this for what it is. They realize this is a highly rushed through experimental vaccine. You can't even call it that. It's it's an mRNA shot. This is highly experimental. There's already been a lot of problems. Health officials have spoken out about that. Doctors who do get silenced on YouTube, and the ones who promote it don't. This is just absolutely insane. And as I said, in British Columbia, guys, they are taking this approach now with this 4-step process to allow your freedoms to come back. So instead of offering you burgers and money and ice cream, it's going to be your freedoms. Get a load of this. These are the steps. We got step 1, step 2, 3, and 4. Step 1, we are in, right? They say just the other day, you have achieved this, and that is because, right here, what's the criteria? Cases are stable, hospitalizations are stable, and 60% of BC residents have been vaccinated. So now you can do all these things. Indoor visits with up to 5 people per household, gatherings, indoor seated gatherings of up to 10 people now, outdoor of up to 50 people now. Recreational travel within your zone is still restricted. Non-essential travel between zones restricted. Low-intensity indoor fitness classes are open now. There's a number of things here. These are the freedoms that you get because of the fact that we have 60% of you inoculated. So, step 2, coming in June 15th. What are we going to need to do in order to get these freedoms? Personal gatherings, organized gatherings, travel, sports, business, offices, and workplace. Well, we're going to need the cases to be declining, the hospitalizations to be declining, and for inoculations to have gone up by 65%. If you want to get these freedoms back, we need at least 65 of you percent to be inoculated. Skip to step 3, July 1st, guys. What's the criteria? 70% now. If 70% of you get vaccinated, look what we get. Return to usual in indoor and outdoor personal gatherings. Increased capacity indoor and outdoor gatherings for a safety plan. Goes on to this for step 4 as well, guys. Normal social contact. If we get up to 70% inoculated. Increased capacity on large organized gatherings. Canada-wide recreational travel will be lifted if 74% of you get inoculated. By the way, guys, I showed you the other day how travel is not restricted within Canada. They say it is, but when you know your rights, you can challenge these things. I'd encourage you to check out this video, if you haven't seen it yet, how to get through a COVID-19 84 travel checkpoint with Press for Truth. And, I'll just show you briefly here in this video. If you haven't seen it, we roll through this travel checkpoint on Highway 99 here, traveling around in British Columbia. They asked me where I was and where my home is. I didn't tell them any of this. Had me pulled over into secondary. The supervisor asked me the same things. I told him I'm not telling you any of this information, and he said, "Okay, sir, go on ahead. Have a good day." And that's how you do it, guys. If you haven't seen that one, links are going to be located in the description below. Be sure to check that out. But as we see here now, in order to get through this 4-step program, in order to get back your freedoms here in British Columbia, they are suggesting that more people have to get inoculated. Guys, this is a major global inoculation program that is underway. They want 75% at least of the population inoculated today with this one. If you haven't seen it yet as well, links will be located in the description below. This one is titled "How to Red Pill a Pro-Vaxxer in Less Than 3 Minutes." Guys, we are at the stage in the game. It is absolutely imperative that we continue to bring this information to the minds of the masses, because look what the other side is doing. Come get your vaccine, kids. We'll give you free ice cream. Come get your stimulus checks, poor people. We'll give you your free vaccine if you do so. You want free food, burgers, and beer, all the things you like? Just get the shot. Hey, you got dreams of becoming a millionaire? You get 5 chances of doing so if you would just hurry up and get inoculated. And NBC, if you want your freedoms back, guys, just go ahead and get the shot. Have you ever trusted the government to this extent before when they are begging you to engage in something like this? I mean, let's not forget, this is a very quickly produced experimental inoculation global program that I think you got to be crazy to get involved with. I will take my chances with the virus, hands down, any day over this experimental jab, which can't even be called a vaccine. So that's it for today, guys. I just wanted to bring you this crazy information that they've got these crazy incentives right now, offering you anything that you may like, you know, that may tickle your fancy. Whatever they're trying to entice you with should be a red flag in your mind that yeah, thanks, but no thanks. This is like a candy being offered on the side of a van. This is just insane. Do not offer it, people. It's a big trick. I do not accept the offer. Everything is an offer, and you have the choice to reject it. I would advise you do when it comes to this COVID-19 84 vaccine. Once again, guys, if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this info, don't forget to check us out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. I need all the help I can get moving forward. As I said, we are up against the behemoth here when it comes to countering the propaganda coming from the mainstream and the health officials and the government. So if you appreciate my efforts, once again, check the links in the description below, and be sure to click the thumbs up button and share this video. And stay tuned, guys. We're going to have more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.